Hello, hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I'm your host, John Harris, and today on Rock Metal Podcast, we have Arsenic Addiction, and they have a new album called 19, which was released a couple of years ago, but we're going to chat about some new music videos that they have going on, as well as what they have planned for the future. So right now, I'm being joined by what I'm told is the most important members of the band to share some more information about this stellar release. So, gang, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely great to have you on. I always enjoy people who have a better setup than I do. Like, you guys have, like, the couch going, you got the wall, you got the lights, you guys are ready for this more than I am, I think.
Well, I think the music videos helped with that because we're an independent band. So our last video, we had to do our own lighting and everything. So thank you, our great overlord, Jeffrey Bezos, for the lighting.
Mm-hmm. That's right. The Jeffrey Bezos. Cool. Now, actually, a very interesting question I think I'm going to start off with was you mentioned doing your own music videos and getting everything rolling and whatnot. What is that like? Was it relieving? Like, cool, we're in charge of our music video, we can save some money? Or would you have rather have had the money to just hand it off to somebody so that you could worry about less stuff? What happened?
I personally like having complete control because then it allows for complete artistic control. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have anybody telling me what I can and can't do. The bummer side of it is obviously we can only do what is within our means as a small independent band. And so that means a lot of DIY, a lot of shots you would have in mind that maybe you have to sacrifice or tweak because you just don't have the tools to do those shots or the budget. But I absolutely enjoyed it. I think our videographer, Brian Medeiros, really turned it out as far as making them look like professional. So I'm actually really proud that we could release them, and I think they hold up to any record label signed band as far as quality goes. So.
Well, I mean, like, I'm on your website right now. I'm taking a look at, the music videos. I'm taking a look at everything, and I wouldn't know that you guys weren't signed. You guys seem to have, found everything that needs to be done. I guess maybe take us through that for any smaller bands out there who are listening in. A lot of musicians listen to the show. What advice do you have to look like you are on a label? What does that even mean? Let's start there. What does that mean? I'm a band on a label. Okay, I can still suck. What does that mean?
Well, basically, I mean, we're still learning with everything that we do, being independent and everything, even finding a proper PR group and everything like that. Finding people who can promote you, that will get us in touch with people like you that we could talk to about the stuff that we're creating. But finding a videographer who is within your budget, within your means. Because I feel, and I'll probably get crap for this, but I just feel like a label essentially is someone it's just an investor investing in you, putting the money into you, the people that they work with into you. So if you can create that for yourself within your means and still have 100% control of your music and your artistic expression, you can present yourself that way. It's a lot of trial and error. You end up meeting people who say that they can do one thing and they can't, or you have disagreements of money and whatnot. So I think with everything, it's just a gamble, Well,
I think my advice would be just put all the love, time, and energy into your image and your presentation as you do your music. Work with people that are better than you, essentially. That goes for music and for imagery.
I would agree.
That's how you raise their level, is you work with people that know more, do more, and then you have the next step up, and then you keep doing that. It's really about putting your ego aside, and then, like you said, you can have an idea and present it forward, but it might come off as low budget or cheesy and we've definitely made those mistakes. And I think making those mistakes has also helped us learn what we don't want to do. So.
Yeah, I apologize about my face. Something flew into my eye, and I was trying to make it as discreet as possible, and I think I may have not have made that as discreet as possible. But I am looking at Moon and Sun right now, the music video. So take us through this artistic freedom. What were you guys looking to do with this music video? Those eyes are creepy, by the way.
Thanks.
So what I wanted to do was portray our version of Moon and Sun. I feel like that story has been told not only through music and story and television and movies, but just through time itself. Like going back to even like mythology, whether it be like Greek or Norse, there's always some version of that story. And it's my version or our version of it was basically like these star-crossed lovers where, you know, they pine and they want to be together. And then ultimately when they are, it's just destructive. Like the world falls apart because, I mean, the sun and the moon can't be in the same place at the same time. So without consequence. So I just wanted to portray this kind of like breakdown of the cosmos and what it feels like to love a person who's not good for you ultimately. So.
Love a person who's not good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting love in return though?
Yeah, but I think where the Beatles were wrong is love is not all you need. I feel like a lot more relationships, no matter whether they're romantic or friendships, if love is all you needed, I mean, they would have 1,000 times better success rate. But unfortunately, you need honesty and communication and trust. And like, there's like this slew of other things that go into those emotions. And so, and I think love at its most pure form can be either great or incredibly toxic. So, because it's so intense.
Mm. So if you had love in its purest form, you wouldn't automatically have honesty and truth and compassion?
I don't think so. I feel like a lot of us who have been in various relationships have met those people where we love them, but can also recognize that you bring out the worst in each other. Like you may love everything about that person's personality, what they look like your shared interests, but it doesn't make you a good match, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I know, right?
All right. One of the other music videos, because you guys have been doing some music videos lately, so Maleficium is another music video. Is that correct?
Maleficium.
Maleficium, sorry.
No, it's so Maleficium, you can take some.
Oh, okay. So Maleficium was, I mean, the way that we shot it, we went up and shot it in 2 days up in the Uintas, up in the Rockies, and it was, so that basic story is like the trial and execution, kind of burn the witch kind of story of the main protagonist being herself. A lot of our songs have a lot to do about love and relationships and stuff like that. But also, so if you've kind of watched the music video, you see Lady A walking through and basically being persecuted and trialed and later on burned and kind of becoming this higher being in the music video, kind of being what she was throughout it.
It's like becoming the monster that everybody tells you are, you know. But becoming more powerful and better for it. Like, so.
I'm going to say you already are if they say that you are. You're just realizing it.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it's perspective, you know.
It's always perspective. Your perspective is that you're not the monster, and their perspective is that you are.
Right.
Right. So that if you wouldn't become it, you would realize, you would see their perspective or something.
Kinda.
Like perspectives within perspectives.
Inception.
It's a dome within a dome.
It is a dome within a dome, baby. Sweet. Okay, take us through that guitar that you've got there. I think I just saw a little flash. Looks like an SG with some, what are those? Are those X2NS or something? Or
Yeah, those are DiMarzio X2NS. That's Gibson SG Gothic.
And what does that mean? That it's black, or is there something else that's going on with it?
Black times infinity. No, it's
times infinity.
It's one of the special editions. Like Gibson, like every 5 years, comes out with a satin black guitar and calls it something brutal. Like that one that I have in that music video is the Gothic, and then the main one that I play in the band is another flat black Les Paul called the Menace. So, and I think the one that they just released now is, I can't even remember what it's called. I was just looking at it the other day. I very much love all the flat black Gibson guitars, and every time they release one, I'm like, maybe. Buy them.
Okay. And why is that? What is it about the Gibson guitars that strikes your fancy?
Well, for me, I mean, like growing up, like a lot of my favorite guitar players played that. So I loved Joe Perry. I love Slash. I love Adam Jones from Tool. So, and I just loved like the Les Paul shape. And in my opinion, one of the most versatile guitars throughout all music is like a Gibson Les Paul. You can literally find one in every genre of music. So I've always loved the sound of them. I love the weight of them. And then obviously, like when you can see from the music videos and our background, like aesthetic is a big thing for our band. So like all of our instruments are black. A lot of the things that the reason why I like that kind of finish in particular is because the way that it's finished, the natural oils from your arm and like your hands and stuff will actually wear the finish away, and it will become like raw wood. So like on my neck of my guitar, it's raw underneath it from my hand just like kind of wiping away the finish. It gives it this really cool worn vintage look and a much quicker way.
Okay. It's your own vintage, baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, DiMarzio X2NS, why is that? You needed all the power?
And actually, that guitar was a gift. Lady A and I are married. And that was a gift to us, mostly me, at our wedding, and it came with those pickups in it. And it was a pleasant surprise just because they're super hot, really active. So, but yeah, that one's been my backup guitar for a long time.
Aw, well, at least the backup guitar made it to the front for the music video.
Yeah, had to give it its shine.
Yeah, that's right. Cool. And I'm guessing you guys went to the Rockies because of the snow, and you guys are in black and the snow. It looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're in Utah, so we definitely try to utilize all of its beautiful scenery when possible. So
that makes sense. I think more people need to do that.
Yeah.
But definitely makes sense. And you seem so angry in this song, lady. You just seem so angry. What's going on in this song?
In Maleficium?
Yeah.
A lot.
You're just screaming so much. Like, what's wrong? What happened?
Oh, trauma, so much. I'm mentally ill, so that's what I do.
You gotta come out of it somehow.
Yeah, psychiatrist, medication, I'm trying. Making music.
Yeah. What's this track about, Maleficium?
So Maleficium is ultimately about the struggle of being different, just growing up different, being treated differently by those around you, for being exactly who you are, because you're not a part of the norm, or you're not, you don't exactly like fit into societal norms in the sense of how people think you should, and you push back for years, and eventually you're just like, nope, this is how I am. Like, once you definitely grow into those strange parts of you, instead of feeling like they're wrong or you have to change them, you grow into them and embrace them.
Coming from Utah, I think I got some ideas about what all this might be about. What we'll refer to as strict, quasi-religious, white conservative community.
I like to call them the how's your neighbor religion, Not scary on the outside.
No, but as long as you're wearing the right underwear. You'll be okay.
Protected.
Magic jammy underwears.
Magic jammy underwears. Yeah. Okay, I'll say one joke that I learned while I was down there, and that is if you want to protect your beer, the beer that's in your fridge while Mormons are over, make sure that there are multiple Mormons over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Yeah. Judgment happened between them.
Yeah. I went to university down there, not in Utah, but in Arizona. Second largest area of Mormons outside of Utah is in Mesa, Arizona.
Oh, wow.
And I got to experience a lot of stuff, like underwear checking. Like, you wearing your underwear? Kind of thing. It was weird.
Why are you so worried about what I put over my junk, bro?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And what else did I experience? That was probably the largest one that concerned me the most, was checking for the secret underwear that you can only get at the secret store or whatever it is.
Oh yeah. At the secret meetings that were stolen from the Freemasons, and they're like, we could go on, but
yeah. Well, the other reason I bring it up is because it sounds like it may be a focal point of the aggression that's coming out of the music. And interestingly enough, my first interview from today was from a Brazilian guy who was in Europe, and he's touring around with some bands, and I'll leave them unnamed. They're large bands, but he's touring around with some bands. And he said, one of the cool things about today is, when I was growing up, you couldn't say no to religion. But now in 2021, it seems like it, depending on where you're at, obviously, it seems like you can flat out say, nah, that's not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You want that to be your thing, you go knock yourself out. But it's not the truth. It's the way you choose to live your life.
Right.
And one of the things that I'm closing it today with is an interview where it's almost like, okay, well, I'm in reaction to this idea of, I don't know, it's not the truth. It's just the way you choose to live your life, and it's not the way I choose to live my life. So why are you bugging me?
All right. Unfortunately, I grew up in the predominant faith, and even then, I don't know. It just always felt weird and off, and they don't like to be questioned. Even when you're little, like, I was like 8 years old, so, I still believe in the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus, and so I would just ask simple questions. I would just be like, oh, hey, did the Nephites have the Tooth Fairy, like, just like me? They'd be like, no, that's ridiculous. Why would you say that? Like, and they would almost be angry about the fact I was questioning any of their doctrine. And like I said, I'm a child. Like, I don't know any better. Like, to me, I'm just like, yeah, it's cool, right? Like, it's all stories. Like, I don't know. And so it never felt, I don't know. It just never felt right.
This is very true, baby. Okay. Now, we've chatted about Gibson SG Gothic guitars. We've chatted about DiMarzio X2N pickups. These are the only important things out of the entire interview. Just kidding. We've chatted about the album 19. A couple of music videos. Ones that we have that are available at time of recording are Moon and Sun, Maleficium, and Fire.
Yes.
And Fire is also fantastic. Did you guys have a drone for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say that? Like, yeah. Yeah, we just, yeah.
Well, it's not ours.
It's not ours.
It's our videographer.
This, we're saying hire people that are better than you and have better stuff than you. Yeah, no, that was the first of the 3 that we shot. And we went out to the Salt Flats, right out on the edge of Utah next to Nevada. And, we had the drone shots. We tried to make each video tie into each other, but make them a little different. So this one being the first one was all performance with some cool imagery. We wanted that very steady cam shots. We wanted the drone shots, really bringing in symbolism and everything. And then for Maleficium, we didn't want any drone shots, and we didn't want any steady cam. We wanted everything very shaky. We wanted that, kind of like how you were saying with her vocals, just that very aggressive, angry feel to it. And then with Moon and Sun, we wanted that steady cam back with lots of panning in and panning out. And that was the only video that we shot in studio and actually had to build all the sets. So,
Wow. No green screen. You actually built it. Hammer and nail.
Yeah.
I dig it. I miss those days. You know, the way sets looked back in the 80s and like where the way things had to be, you know, back in the 80s because it was real, quote unquote. It was like a real dummy that they burned on fire, you know?
Practical effects will forever be, like, at least in my opinion, more magical than CGI. I think even if it is cheesy practical effects, like in B-rate horror movies, like somehow it just, like, I don't know, it's more charming, it's more believable, and I think CGI sometimes can take you out of the, like, immersion of whatever you're watching. Because it's so, like, computer generated, it borderlines that weird uncanny valley, like, area.
Mm-hmm.
Feel uncomfortable. I don't know why.
Yeah. Cool. Well, speaking of things that are really comfortable, what's next to come as we finish up our interview today?
Well, we are doing, so as you mentioned, XIX or 19 was released in 2019. With the whole pandemic and everything, we've been trying to just give it some promotion for all those songs that we put work into. And we're doing one last music video for that album for Tomb of Sleep. So we're recording that. We're going to start shooting that in the next couple weeks. And we hope to have that released by the end of the year. And then we are also starting writing and recording of our next album and new singles and songs to start releasing. So hopefully, I think we're shooting for the beginning of the year to have some new music out.
Okay.
We're trying some festivals as well.
Oh, yeah. Festivals for next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We don't really have the money to go on a full board tour. And the booking guy we're working with is also saying that not everything's, like, completely back to normal yet. So it's still a little up in the air. But so yeah, hopefully we'll play some festivals and get a little more bang for our buck as far as, like, you know, heading out, larger crowd, more bands that are larger than we are. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the thing right now is you could spend weeks organizing everything around all the different COVID restrictions in different locales and then get there and it's changed.
Yep.
So, yeah, if you can hold off or wait until a little bit, I kind of recommend it. Or, like, as you said, make it count so you know what a festival is going to be doing, you know, by and large for the most part, unless something drastically changes.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, that's kind of our hopes is next year, hopefully, where the world's looking like it's in a better place and we can get out and play some of these festivals that we're looking at.
Mm-hmm. If only, baby. I'm shooting for 2023. That's my goal in life right now. Just numb me until 2023. Beautiful. Sweet. Arsenic Addiction album 19 or XIX out everywhere you consume music. So, for example, I would go listen to it on Spotify. That's just me personally. And what else is there? Music videos are coming from the album. We've got Moon and...
For XIX. We just got Vinyl XIX, though.
Oh.
So check out our Bandcamp for that because we're excited.
Took forever to get them. We finally got them.
Cool. All right. I have arsenicaddiction.com as a website to reach you guys at. Should I keep that or?
No. If you would do our Bandcamp instead, arsenicaddiction.com is unfortunately not ours yet again. So it will be soon.
Okay.
Transitioning.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is put in arsenicaddiction.bandcamp.com. That's my whole music while I copy that over into my notes.
Beautiful.
Which is more hip-hop than it is rock, but I guess I'll make my whole music like... Cool. All right, so I've got that in there now. So everybody who is tuning in right now, head over to arsenicaddiction.bandcamp.com, link down below in the show notes, as well as 3 music videos that I currently have that John Asher had sent out. So if John's listening in, hello. If he's not, then screw you, buddy. Moon and Sun, Maleficium, and Fire. And tell John Asher to send me bagels if he's not listening, because I enjoy Montreal bagels. We also snagged in a sweet Gibson SG Gothic with DiMarzio X2N pickups, which is going to be at full volume, hot, hot, hot. As well as some news coming down the pipeline, which you can stay up to date at arsenicaddiction.bandcamp.com. Gang, is there anything that I missed?
Nope, that's it.
That's it. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Thank you so much for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
Thanks for having us.